Need a last minute gift idea that's elegant but comes together in no time at all? I've got the perfect thing. A beautiful 3D shadow box. So let's get crafting. Now for this project, you'll need an 8x8 wooden frame. These are the same ones I used in my last video of the Kirkland dupes. You'll need an SVG cut file. The one I'm using today is from My 3D SVG. Various sheets of colored cardstock. And if you do purchase your SVG file from My 3D SVG, she tells you exactly what color she'd recommend, although you can always switch it up and use any preferred colors you have. And you will need paint for your frame and of course your Cricut. And then I am using these foam adhesive squares to give the 3D effect. My 3D SVG has a number of beautiful files available for the 3D shadow boxes, like the ones I'm using today, but she has quite a number of them. They're all beautiful and they are all very beginner friendly, and I'll explain why as we get going. The first thing you'll need to do is pick the SVG file that you'd like to use. The one I picked is this one right here, Rejoice. You will add it to cart and go ahead through the whole purchase process. I'm not going to show you that because I've already purchased mine. And then you will be sent an email with the download instructions for your SVG file. Once you have your SVG file downloaded, you'll go to the file where it downloaded into, right-click on the file, and then hit Extract All. Once the files have been extracted, you'll see a couple different items in here that you will have been sent. The directions for cutting, a DXF file, an EPS file, an SVG file, and an assembly document. What we're going to be uploading into Cricut Design Space is the SVG file. You're going to go into Cricut Design Space, and select a new project, and then you'll go over to Upload, and then Upload Image. Then you'll head into the folder where you have the SVG downloaded. Click on your item, select the correct file, and then once it's loaded onto the screen, you can just click Upload and click on it right here and Add to Canvas. At this point, go ahead and measure the inside of your shadow box. Mine is exactly 7 by 7. Then head back into Cricut Design Space and adjust the size of your item. Now up here, I'm just gonna click and put a 7 because it is 7 by 7 square. So this is what I'll be working with now to complete the shadow box. The next thing you're going to do is just go over and click Make It, and each of your mats will appear on here in the order that they're going to be cut. Now you can go back into your file that you've downloaded and click on Assembling Your Project, and you will see that she recommends the double-sided foam tape, which we're using, and she also gives you the numbered alignment guide for cutting the different pieces of the project. Now, as you can see back over here in Cricut Design Space, the first piece that's going to be cut is number 10. The second piece is number 2, but you'll see how she adds the number down here in the corner, so there is really no way you can mess up this project. I recommend you do a test cut before you begin cutting out the actual pieces for your project. If you can see here on this first piece, the amount of intricate cuts is numerous. So you don't want to find out partway through this that you have a bad blade or that you have your material setting set wrong. So I would suggest maybe grabbing this layer number 2 and run a test cut of it first before you would cut that first page, which is layer 10. You may want to refer back and forth between design space and your instructions so that you're certain you're putting the right color in the right order as you cut. So the first one it's calling for is number 10. So I'm just going to double check, go back to her paper, and layer number 10 is white. So we'll load the white cardstock onto the mat and get it cut out. Once your cutting's complete, you can go ahead and remove your mat. And if you'll notice here on layer 10, all of the intricate detailed cuttings that it made. So it's going to be easiest if you flip your mat over and peel the paper away from the mat. And then on this layer especially, you might have to use your weeding tool to pop out some of the cut pieces. I won't bore you with making you sit through and watch me cut out every single layer, but I'm just going to cut them out in order the way the Cricut has them lined up, going back and forth with that guide, making sure I'm putting the right color down with the right number. As you can see here, layer 2 cuts out perfect, really clean, really nice. But if you notice here on the third cutting that the Cricut plans to do, there are no cuts and no numbers in the corner, but if you look on the cutting guide, you will see that that is actually layer number 11. That is just a solid square cut, and that is the bottom layer of the project. So I just didn't want you to get confused when you get to that cut. After all your cutting is done, you can go ahead and paint your frame whatever color you like. I did white, but with this project, black would look nice, or even just a stain would look nice, whichever you would like to have. Now you're ready to assemble the entire project. I have my frame and all of my pieces. Now these are just laying on top of each other in the order that they are going to be put in the frame. So what I'm going to do is just set them to the side. I'll actually lay them upside down over here, and I'm going to take the first piece and I will grab my art glitter glue and go ahead and apply a thin little coat onto the bottom, just to hold that black bottom sheet in place. Now, one thing I did not think to do here was to dry fit the paper into the frame, but this first piece worked really well and it fit in there just perfect. And I'm not sure why, but I wasn't so lucky with the rest of the sheets. I took the first one, the next layer, which was layer 10, and as I tried to fit it in, it would not slide into place easily. So I went ahead and got my paper slicer and did just a little teeny sliver of a slice across the top and the one side, and then the page was able to slide in there perfectly. And I did have to do that with all remaining pages from here on out. Now I chose to just simply glue layer 10 right onto layer 11 on the background. I did not feel that that layer needed to be raised at all with the foam squares, so that one I did just by simply gluing. For the remaining layers 1 through 9, I went ahead and added the foam adhesive squares onto the back of each layer. Now you'll want to be careful and apply these foam squares onto the back of each layer where they do not overlap a cut space. That way when it gets flipped over into your project, you won't be seeing any of the foam at all. And I would recommend that you pay attention to where you are putting your foam dots and keep them kind of on top of each other. That gives you a lot of support as you build forward on the project. Also be sure that you're applying them in numerous places. You don't want just the 4 corners to have the adhesive dots. You're going to want to have them spread throughout the back of each of your layers. If you will look on the instruction sheets that you get from my 3D SVG, she even has a place on there where she shows you where she suggests that you apply the foam dots. Once I had made my way to layer 1, the very final layer, I decided to glue that one directly onto layer 2. I really liked the way that looked and didn't feel it needed the added dimension between layers 1 and layer 2. And there we have our finished project. It would be an awesome gift to give somebody special in your life, or just to add to your own home holiday decor. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. That way YouTube knows I'm sending you something you like. And be sure to subscribe for more Cricut videos in the future. And I will see you next time back in the craft room.